Holidays. These are not just any meatballs, these are lamb meatballs from the Rastelli family. What you're talking about is a beautiful type of lamb, and these are beautifully done. 3 pounds of these meatballs, however you choose to serve them, with a red sauce or a green sauce or no sauce at all. This is really perfect. And we had these on back in January when we had them prior to Easter.
That's right.
And they sold out completely. And they're back with Mr. Rastelli, who has been our own personal butcher now for, is it 9 years?
It's 9 years.
9 years, but you've been in business for 38.
48.
48.
48.
I cheated you a decade.
That's
all
okay.
right, now 48 years as a butcher. You started at the tender age of 2. This is very exciting, and I'm very excited about these meatballs, but this is a particular type of lamb, is it not?
It is, and this is something very, very special, David, because we only bring this really at the holidays, the Christmas holidays and the Easter holidays.
Yeah.
Lamb is a very, very special product, especially when you bring lamb from Denver spring lamb. And the reason I say that is because lamb can somewhat have a stronger taste at times if it's imported. This is domestic, so you won't get that really strong taste of lamb. What you're going to get is a light, delicate, mild taste. And what I love most about this, if you take a look at this meatball, I want you to see how soft this is. Lamb meatballs
Not
are
overdone, not overworked,
Look
rather.
right through this with a fork.
Oh,
I
my
just press
heavens.
it, and I want you to see that.
Tender.
So I smashed it with a fork, but I want you to see the inside, because what you see are real ingredients, David. So we start with that beautiful Denver lamb, and then, of course, we add some Parmesan cheese, a little bit of paprika, parsley, of course, mint, a little bit of onion, and salt and pepper. So you're going to get beautiful, incredible flavors, but you're going to taste the lamb. And you can see how moist this is because it's never been frozen before we actually take it, make these meatballs, and fully cook them for you. So it's simple, David.
So when we receive them, they're fully cooked.
They are fully cooked.
And frozen, so do we let them thaw before we heat them up?
You don't even have to do that, David. So when you get them home now, you're going to get 3 of these packages. Each one has 16 meatballs, so you're getting 48 of these lamb meatballs. The nice part about it is you can take them right from frozen. You can drop them in your skillet just to heat them. You can put them in the oven and bake them on a baking sheet for maybe 15 minutes or so. You can drop them in your air fryer. But because they're fully cooked, all you've got to do is heat and eat, and you're ready to go with something
I'm ready
special.
to eat,
Yes.
sir. Oh, my word, these look amazing. And you're right, it's not too strong.
No, it's not. It's got a wonderful, wonderful, fresh, delicate flavor.
And a wonderful seasoning as well. Now, I know that the secret to all good cooking is good seasoning and good ingredients. And you have certainly done an ease of preparation, but also really perfect balance in your seasoning. This is something very special. Now, the last time you had these on the air was January.
Yes, in January.
It's been almost a year.
It has, I know.
Because it's now December.
That's right.
Yeah, it was January the 17th to be exact. So we're almost a year later.
Look
that these have been back.
David, look at the moisture in there, right? And lamb is very lean. Those of you who love lamb, you know how lean lamb is. Very, very high in protein. But when you get moisture out of this, it's because it's fresh. It's never been frozen until we make them. And then, of course,
so the first time they're frozen is when you make them?
When we make them. And you can see the beautiful particulates in there, right? That's real parsley. That's real grated Romano cheese, a little bit of paprika, as I mentioned, and, of course, mint. But when you taste this, what you're going to taste is something very special. So I love Italian meatballs. And until we started making lamb meatballs, all of a sudden...
What is your last name again?
Yeah, there you go.
Rastelli. Yeah,
yes.
it's a little bit Italian. Yeah.
A little bit Italian.
But you love a good lamb meatball.
I do.
And it's something that we don't really come across all that often.
We don't.
And many times we don't gravitate to it because it tastes too strong. This does not. What I'm tasting, and it's interesting that you say there's mint in this because I don't taste the mint. The mint is there, and if I think about it, I can taste it, but it's not overwhelming. It's not going to be like a tube of toothpaste, right?
That's right.
So this is something that is beautifully balanced, and we're so excited about this. Now, what kind of sauce are you putting on
This is
there?
a tzatziki sauce.
Oh, I was
David.
hoping you'd say that.
So this is very, very traditional with a lamb product. And again, because you get the flavor of that lamb that really, really shines through, the tzatziki just has a little bit more of that sweetness to it. And look at how tender this is. And, and again, spring Denver lamb. It's always about where you start. And as a butcher, that's where we start. It's the most important thing about anything that Rastelli brings. We've got to know the source, and we certainly know the source.
And they're all very loosely packed. This is not overly done or overly worked.
That's correct.
So when you get these at home, they're not going to be tough as little hockey pucks,
That's right. That's exactly
This
right.
is something that should melt on your tongue, and you should taste all of the ingredients. This is something really special. I'm going to go for another another little piece here, sir. Oh,
There
I
you
picked
go.
up 2 skewers. I
There
don't know
you
how
go.
that happened. I think they're connected to one another. I might have to have 2 pieces. Mmm. So lean,
Isn't
so
it?
lovely.
Yes, it really is. And you know, whether it's going to be over a pasta like this, where you've got some gravy or
I was going to ask,
sauce,
would
whatever
you
like.
serve lamb meatballs with a red sauce?
Absolutely, no question about it. And again, that if you do what I do with meatballs, I cook my meatballs actually in my gravy, so you get some of that lamb flavor that actually goes into that gravy. So it makes you give your gravy a totally different flavor profile, but one that your family's going to really, I think, enjoy. So again, easy to do. I love the size of these because what I like to do, David, I just like to take one of these, I'll cut it in half, and then I'll just make a couple of appetizers out of it, right? So we've got a nice dipper. So think about cut one in half, just a little dipper in
into
my
the
tzatziki,
tzatziki.
right? So
Oh,
I've got that,
how lovely.
right? Or how about if we just go into the marinara sauce?
But not too strong. That is what is so amazing about them.
That's what, and I think that's what everyone loves about our lamb meatballs. When you start with the very, very best lamb, and you want something very different and very special, I will tell you that when you try these, you're going to be absolutely
I will say, when I first saw the rundown for the show tonight, I thought, lamb meatballs? Really? And I was like, because obviously I haven't been on since January. And so I was like a little reticent, like some of you probably. And when you try these, oh my word, it takes all of the hesitancy away.
It really does, and something really different and unique that your guests are just going to absolutely love, because you're not going to find a lamb meatball in the supermarket, that's for sure.
No,
But
you
will
won't.
find it at the
And
butcher
if
shop.
you do, it might be very strong,
That's
right?
very true, very true.
And maybe all you taste is really strong flavor of lamb. This is beautifully balanced. Mr. Rastelli, you're coming back with fillets?
Yes, we've got some very special
Looking
gifts.
forward to that, sir. Right now, though, I want to talk to you about my shoes. You know how